with Bud Watson up top, starting second in the 2-2-5 as the first heat for the UMP Modified goes green as the flag flies in the air as they head down the front straightaway for the first time in a 1-2. It is all Dave Hess Jr. He slides a little wide though, opens up the door underneath for Bud Watson. Can't pull up to the back bumper just quite yet, and that's how they'll stay through 3 and 4. It is Hess up top, Watson down low, but Hess pulls away off turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Hess is still holding on to that 2 to 3 car length advantage. Al Brewer, he is falling off the pace of the top 2 and 3rd as they head off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. It is the 2-2-5 of Bud Watson trying everything in his power to catch up to the back bumper of Hess, but right now Hess is long gone. He was the fastest car in timed hot lap trials, running a 17.444, and that is something else with his number being 44 and having the 444 at the end of the 17 up on the fast time. He is the fastest on the track right now as well, and he is showing it, leading the way. He started this one in first, and he has led every single lap. 4 laps down, 4 laps to go, and they come back around. They'll see 3 laps left. Into turns 3 and 4, Dave Hess Jr. continuing to pull away as he heads back onto the front straightaway. 2 laps to go for the race leader. At one point, Bud Watson in the 2-2-5 was able to hold tight to the back bumper and be within a couple of car lengths of striking distance, but Hess Jr. has opened it up and he is long gone. White flag in the air here in Heat 1 of the UMP Modified. Coming up off turn number 4 for the final time, onto the front straightaway, checkered flag being displayed in the 44 of Dave Hess Jr. He will secure the victory in the first heat for the UMP Modifieds. And you have the 2-2-5 of Bud Watson coming across the line in second. The 71 of Al Brewer finishes third. The 07P of Tim Peterson will finish in position number 4. And the 11M of Michael McKean fifth. To see the green flag as they head up off turn 4 onto the front straightaway. Green flag goes in the air. Wyatt Scott, he jumps out with a nice sizable advantage by the time they hit 1 and 2 for the first time. Zach Johnson in the 105 riding in second, and they will head down the back straightaway for the first time with Wyatt Scott with a 2 car length advantage. Trouble farther back on the front straightaway, the 61 of Dan Sasso. He pulls into the infield, but up front, the 3 of Wyatt Scott is long gone. Zach Johnson, he rides in second, and he is under the gun from the 1 of Vincent DePizel. They head through 1 and 2 again, and Wyatt Scott continuing to pull away. Nothing to worry about so far for the 3 of Wyatt Scott. He just hopes for a clean green race from here on out. 4 laps down, 4 laps to go for Wyatt Scott. Zach Johnson continuing to hold on to that second position as DePizel is all over him. He dials up the low line, DePizel does, as Johnson's way up top. And DePizel tries to cut off the car length for that advantage, and he does so successfully. They will be side by side through 3 and 4. Back onto the front straightaway, Johnson continues to hold that spot. And up front, Wyatt Scott is long gone. 2 laps to go for Wyatt Scott, and he is all by his lonesome at the front of the field. He heads through 1 and 2 as the sun has set behind the hills here at McKean County Raceway. A scenic view in the background and the backdrop, but right now the best thing for Wyatt Scott that he sees is that white flag go in the air. One more time around for Wyatt Scott in the second heat of the UNP Modifieds, and he is all alone. Down the back straightaway for the final time, Wyatt Scott, he got second quickest in the timed hot lap trials with a 17.721. He started this one on the pole, and he's going to finish first in the second heat of the UNP Modifieds. Zach Johnson comes across the line in second. Vincent Pizzell will come across the line in third. The 32 will head across the line in fourth. That's Tim Rockwell. And then the 5B of Andrew Beatman rounds out the top five. 92. He is on the bottom of the racetrack. He is the race leader. He will lead him to green, which he does so now. Green flag goes in the air. Dennis Lunger in the 71L hanging tight to his right elbow. They go side by side. Trouble farther back. The 71L of Dennis Lunger goes around. Jacob McConnell makes contact with him up top in turn number 2. And the yellow flag is in the rear as they head through 3 and 4. Front row. It goes like this. It's Joe Watson on the bottom of the racetrack. The 05 of Greg Johnson up top. Green flag has already been back in the air. They head through 1 and 2. Watson jumps up to the top side through 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, he will head into 3 and 4 with a 2-car length advantage over the 05 of Greg Johnson as they head off of turn number 4 and back onto the front straightaway. Joel Watson continuing to hold the lead over Greg Johnson in second. Then you have the 777 of Jacob McConnell, who was involved in that incident with the car right behind him, and the 71L of Dennis Lunger in turn 1. Those two cars that were involved in the turn 1 incident on lap 1 have made it back to third and fourth, and they are battling side by side as it is McConnell up top, Lunger down low. They will stay side by side off turn number 4 momentarily, but McConnell pulls away with that high line momentum up front, battle for the lead. It's starting to tighten up just a little bit as well. Trouble off turn 2. One car, it's McConnell. He goes way wide. Got a little high, almost kicked off the course, but he keeps it on the raceway. Now up front again, back to the lead. The 05 of Greg Johnson not letting Joel Watson pull away. Down the back straightaway they go. It's just about 3 car lengths of separation as Watson is going about as high as you can possibly go with the way that the groove is working in tonight. They head off turn number 4. Down the front straightaway they go. Joel Watson continuing to lead the way and now actually starting to pull away from Greg Johnson, who rides in second. 2 laps to go for Joel Watson, the Points Cup local cup points leader. He has got the 3rd fastest lap in timed hot lap trials tonight, 17.766. And he started this one on the pole, and he has led every lap, looking to lead them all. And he's got 1 more lap before he can do that. Down the front straightaway, white flag in the air as they head through 1 and 2. The first 2 heats, the one who started on the pole ended up in victory lane. Joel Watson looking to continue that tradition here tonight in MCR and the UNP Modified, and he will do so. Off turn number 4, Joel Watson will score the victory in the 3rd of 4 heats in the UNP Modifieds. The 05 of Greg Johnson comes across the line in second. Dennis Lunger in third. The 777 of Jacob McConnell fourth, and the 55S of Bush Southwell will round out your top 5. Flag in turn 4. Back up onto the front straightaway. Green flag goes in the air, and it's Rich Michael Jr. who's got the whole shot lead and advantage by the time they sling the machines through 1 and 2 for the first time. As Rich goes way wide in turn 2, that opens up the door down low for CJ Ramsey. Ramsey slides by into position number 2, and now it is Esrich. He is under the gun from the 29X of Kyle Schreckengast down the front straightaway, but Esrich pulls away with the race leader with the 3rd position. Got into the back bumper of the 14 of CJ Ramsey. That slowed him down just a bit. Opened up the door again for the bottom of Schreckengast, trying to pull up alongside and battle for 3rd. But up front, it's the 17X of Rich Michael Jr. all by himself. Side by side for third, it's the 99E of Michael Esrich. At the line, you can give the advantage to Esrich, but Schreckengost is right there, all over. They drag race down the back straightaway, and now Esrich pulls away with that position. Down the back stretch into 3 and 4. They go, still side by side, but up front on the front straightaway already, the 17X of Rich Michael Jr. He just saw the halfway signal being given, so 4 laps down, 4 laps to go. That battle for third continues to be the best one on the track, and all eyes are on it. Esrich has third, Schreckengost wants it. Through 3 and 4 they go again, still wheel to wheel up off corner exit, back on the front straightaway. Esrich still edging him out at the line. 2 laps to go for Rich Michael Jr. up front in the 17X, the 14 of CJ Ramsey. He is back in second. Esrich continues to hold off the 29X of Kyle Schreckengost as they head down the back straightaway, continuing to stay wheel to wheel. A great battle for third, and it might take the entire last lap to sort it out. Up front, the white flag's being displayed already. Rich Michael Jr. off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway for the final time. He has about a half a straightaway to his advantage. Through 3 and 4 for the final time, Rich Michael Jr. is going to score the 4th and final heat win in the UNP Modifieds. The CJ Ramsey machine comes across the line in second, and Michael Esrich finally does pick up that third position over the 29X of Kyle Schreckengost, who comes across the line in 4th, and then Jimmy Diable in the 40 finishes 5th. Position in turn number 4. Green flag goes in the air. Grisby launches out with the race lead as they head down the front straightaway, and in 1 and 2 for the first time. Grisby, he will pull away with the race lead, and now the 17X of Andy Michael. He has other thoughts. He dives to the bottom of the racetrack. He will go side by side with the race leader through 3 and 4. Andy Michael with the advantage. He will lead lap number 1. Andy Michael in the 17X not only got the lead to lap number 1, he has got the lead to lead lap number 2 and is pulling away. Battle behind him is for second. The 24 of Paul Grisby, he is under fire from the 36 of Ian Travis. That pressure alleviates momentarily, but it is all Andy Michael at the front of the field as he heads off turn number 4, continuing to pull away. Now the battle for third heat picks up as it's the 89 junior of Jacob Tubbs. He got the inside of Travis momentarily, but now he gets drop kicked back into a battle for a fourth. Bill Holmes to the bottom of the racetrack of Tubbs. They will go side by side through 3 and 4. Back onto the front straightaway. You can move Bill Holmes to position number 4. Andy Michael, the race leader, got a little wide coming off turn number 4. That allows Grisby to cut into the lead. He shaves a car length off, but he still has a ton of daylight to overcome. Off of turn number 2, Michael responds to that mistake off turn number 4 with a flawless execution off corner exit of turn number 2 that leads him back onto the front straightaway after completing his lap through 3 and 4. Andy Michael continuing to pull away, and he will see the white flag next time by. White flag goes in the air here for the first of 2 heats in the McKean Trucking and PV or Rush Late Models at McKean County Raceway. Andy Michael, he started this one in 3rd, got the lead on lap number 1 and continued to pull away, never looked back off turn 4. The 17X of Andy Michael will win the first of 2 heats in the late models tonight. Then the 24 of Paul Grisby comes across the line in 2nd. Ian Travis in 3rd, Bill Holmes in 4th, and the 89 junior of Jacob Tubbs rounds out your top 5. 96, bottom of the racetrack, Dustin Waters in the 14. Up top, that's your front row. Green flag goes in the air. Chuck LaFleur dives down low. He makes it 3 wide, entering turn 1 for the first time. But Dustin Waters uses that high line momentum. He will rocket to the race lead. Down the back straightaway for the first time, splitting the middle of 2 cars is Mr. Excitement. Jeremy Wonderling to second. Off turn 4, Waters would lead lap number 1, but Wonderling trying to track them down off turn 2. Jeremy Wonderling has caught the back bumper of Dustin Waters, but now will he be able to get around him? You can move the 61 of Chuck LaFleur into second. The 2 of Ed Carley goes to fourth. The 50 of Wilbur goes to fifth. And the 96 of Smith had a big moment in the middle of 3 and 4. He slipped up, went wide, was chasing the front of that car, and he slides back to last. And here they come through 1 and 2, off of turn 2, down the back straightaway. Jeremy Wonderling to the race lead as he had gotten to the inside of Waters, and he uses that momentum off of corner exit to go to the lead. Waters with the crossover off turn number 4. Down the front straightaway, it won't be enough. Jeremy Wonderling, the race leader, with 4 laps to go. 3 laps to go for Jeremy Wonderling this time by, and he is pulling away from Dustin Waters, who rides in second. LaFleur, those 2 long gone from third, and Carley in fourth. Now into turns 3 and 4 they will go, and it is Wonderling who is riding that middle groove, and then you have Waters, who's all the way at the bottom of the racetrack, but slides wide coming off turn 4. That allows for Wonderling to pull away. 2 laps to go was just shown, so this time around, Jeremy Wonderling will see the white flag. He will head through turns 3 and 4 with Carley behind him, but he has still got about 5 or 6 car lengths of separation. White flag is in the air. The final lap here in the McKean Trucking and PV Paving Rush Late Models heats tonight at McKean County Raceway, and it is all Jeremy Wonderling by himself at the front through 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag goes in the air, and Jeremy Wonderling is going to score the second, or the win in the second heat of the McKean Trucking and PV Paving Rush Late Models. Waters across the line in second. LaFleur comes across third. Then you have Ed Carley in fourth, and Jake Wilbur rounds out your top 5. That is your front row as the field approaches the start flag in turn 4. Onto the front straightaway, green flag goes in the air. Engines get wound up, and the field will barrel into turn 1 for the first time. 3 wide behind them, battle for third as it's Eaton on the bottom of the racetrack. He slides by, he gets around Wonderling, and now he will set his sights on the 9S of CJ Sherwood. All over the back bumper as they spill into turns 3 and 4 for the first time. Jesse Isidore up top, under the gun now from Sherwood as he got the hammer down off turn 4, but Isidore pulls away by the time they hit 1 and 2. Jesse Isidore continuing to show the way, now starting to pull away, battle for third on the track. That's heating up. The 9W of Chris White, he is under fire from the 82 of Eaton, but now Eaton slides wide in the middle of 1 and 2, loses touch the back bumper of the 9W of Chris White, and Chris White closes in on the back bumper of Sherwood. Now he ducks to the bottom, and Chris White slides by. CJ Sherwood had problems in turn 3, got a little wide, screwed up his exit for his entrance to turn 4, and Chris White slides by. Now he will try to track down the race leader of Jesse Isidore. Through 3 and 4 they go. They'll head back onto the front straightaway. 4 laps down, 4 laps to go for Jesse Isidore. Isidore slides wide off turn number 2, and here comes Chris White with a full head of steam down the back straightaway and into 3 and 4. He got right up to the back bumper of Isidore, may have gotten to the inside and was rubbed up against that left rear corner panel, but falls back into the tire tracks. And we'll do it again off turn number 2. Isidore goes wide, Chris White goes low, side by side, drag racing down the back straightaway and into turn 3. It is Chris White who will be the new race leader as they head off turn 4. Yellow flag actually goes in the air here. We have one car who has come to a halt sideways in turn number 2. Chris White was able to have a couple of good runs at the back bumper off turn number 2. Finally got around him. We'll see if he can hold him off for 2 more laps. Green flag goes back in the air. Chris White hits turns 1 and 2 first, with Isidore right there knocking on the doorstep, but off turn number 2 he pulls away, opens it up to 3, 4, maybe 5 car lengths by the time they hit 3 and 4. Off turn 4 onto the front straightaway. White flag is in the air one more time around here in the first of 2 heats in the Beaver Trucking and Excavating Sharp Mini Late Models at McKean County Raceway. Down the back straightaway they go for the final time. Chris White, race leader, continuing to put distance between him and Jesse Isidore. Nothing to worry about out back, and Chris White, he won the feature here last Friday, and he's going to pick up where he left off, winning the first heat in the Beaver Trucking and Excavating Sharp Mini Late Models. Isidore across the line in second, Rob Eaton third, Sherwood fourth, and Wonderling rounds out the top 5. And the 8 of Josh Outman, fourth. Green flag comes off or goes in the air. The field comes off turn number 4 very slowly, finally getting the hammer down, and now into turns 1 and 2. It is the 15B of Brandon Blauser. He will lead the field off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway for the first time. Serby had a huge moment going into turn number 3, almost lost control, but was able to keep it pointed in the right direction. Up front, Blosser, the race leader, and now he will head into 3 and 4 all by himself. Down, 4 laps to go for the 15B of Brandon Blosser. They head through turns 1 and 2, and he is long gone. Pulling away lap after lap from the 8 of Josh Outman. They head down the back straightaway. Trey White, the 99W, trying to track him down, but up front, it is the 15B all gone. Two laps to go for the 15B of Brandon Blauser as he heads down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. White flag goes in the air now as he heads back onto the front straightaway. Josh Outman, he rides in second. The 99W of Trey White in third as they head into turns 1 and 2 for the final time here in the second and final heat of the Beaver Trucking and Excavating Sharp Mini Late Model, the 15B of Brandon Blauser. He got out front early, and he never looked back. Off turn number 4, onto the front straightaway, checkered flag in the air. Brandon Blauser wins the second and final heat of the Beaver Trucking and Excavating Sharp Mini Late Models. Josh Outman in the 8 comes across the line in second, and the 99W of Trey White rounds out your top 3. Just hot lapping as we get ready to go. Green flag racing. Parmenter on the inside. Up top, it is Hamer. That's your front row as the green flag goes in the air, and we are racing here at McKean County Raceway again in the Coffee Supermarket Pure Stocks. And immediately it's Zach Hamer who jumps up high, and he will jump into the lead. He will take over that top spot for Mike Parmenter, open it up to about 2 car lengths by the time they hit turns 3 and 4 for the first time. Now up off corner exit, back onto the front straightaway. The front of that car for Zach Hamer, bouncing and bobbing all the way off turn number 4. But Hamer, he is the race leader. Parmenter rides in second. Mowry right there tucked in behind him in third. Then Joe Skinner back there in fourth. Gifford off of turn number 2. He is in position number 5. But up front, it's a 4-car fight for the race lead. Meanwhile, Zach Hamer now starting to pull away and put some distance between him and Mike Parmenter. Back through 1 and 2 they go. You can call it 3 car lengths between the top 2. But Bruno Mowry all over the back bumper of Mike Parmenter off corner exit. Couldn't get the hammer down to stay with them down the back straightaway. Zach Hamer continues to lead the way. Zach Hamer continuing to pull away and put distance between him and Mike Parmenter, and Bruno Maury continuing to hound the back bumper of Mike Parmenter. Cannot complete the pass. He has been able to pull up right to the back bumper and put pressure on Parmenter, but he just cannot get enough momentum to pull up alongside. We'll see if that changes. 4 laps down, 4 laps to go. Maury dials up the low line through turns 1 and 2. Parmenter rides that middle groove, uses that momentum to propel to about a 3-car length advantage for position number 2. Even chops off a car length to Zach Hamer's lead as they head off to turn number 4. 3 laps to go. Down the back straightaway they will head into turns number 3 and 4. They will go. It is Zach Hamer, the race leader. Parmenter right there a car length behind. And then you have Maury right there all over the back bumper. Still a Parmenter, just cannot complete the pass. 2 laps to go, and it's a 3-car dogfight for the race lead. Maury, he is side by side with Parmenter now off turn number 2, and he keeps enough momentum to hang tight with them, continuing to be right there on his quarter panel as they work through 3 and 4. Now onto the front straightaway. White flag goes in the air. One more time around here in the only heat for the Costa Supermarket Gear Stocks, and now it is Maury who falls back and tucks in behind Parmenter for 3rd, and Hamer continuing to pull away. Down the back straightaway they go for the final time. Zach Hamer with the race lead. He'll dial up the low line through 3 and 4, up off of corner exit, back onto the front straightaway. Zach Hamer is going to hold off the pressure, and he is going to score the victory in the only heat of the Costa Supermarket Gear Stocks here at McKean County Raceway. Parmenter comes across the line in 2nd, Maury 3rd, Joe Skinner comes across in 4th, and the 00 of Gifford, he pulled off the racetrack. Sherman Gage in the 21S comes across in 5th. Babcock in 5th, green flag getting ready to go in the air, which it does now. Field not bunched up, not double file. Green flag still flies as they head down to the front straightaway, and it looks like a couple of cars having some issues maybe as the 28C of Preston Cobb, very slow, not able to get the power down underneath the hood of that green and white machine as he will head through 1 and 2, and that's all he's going to be able to go. He will have to stop, comes to a halt in turn number 2, and the yellow flag is in the air. Racetrack, Gillespie up top, that's your front row. There it is, green flag back in the air. We'll try it again. Still no laps complete as they head down the front straightaway back through 1 and 2. Michael continuing to lead the way as they head off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Gillespie, he rides in position number 2, but is being trapped down by the Triple X of Eric Wise. Through 3 and 4, back onto the front straightaway. They continue to head up into turns 1 and 2, all chasing the 8 of John Michael. Off of turn 4, back onto the front straightaway. John Michael continuing to lead the way. Gillespie trying everything. Oh, we got trouble on the front stretch. The 7P and Trevor Putt. He has had major problems, and something has broke on the right front of that machine. Goes up, or Shane Putt that is, excuse me, goes up to the outside retaining wall. The yellow flag in the air, but he hit very hard coming off turn number 4. Wise is in 3rd as they head off of turn number 4, back onto the front straightaway. Green flag goes back in the air, 3 laps down, 5 laps to go. John Michael leads them back into 1 and 2. Four laps down, 4 laps to go. John Michael, he's got company at the back door. Group 1 and 2, Gillespie is right there all over the back bumper as they split the machines up off the corner exit. Down the back straightaway, Gillespie to the inside. Not going to be able to pull up alongside Michael just quite yet. They head through 3 and 4, and John Michael opens it up to about a car length and a half by the time they hit the front straightaway. 3 laps to go for John Michael. John Michael has opened up his lead now, continuing to grow it as he heads off turn number 4. 2 laps to go. He felt the pressure, and he has taken off 2 more times around here for John Michael in the first of 2 heats in the Nittany Mini Stock class. They head down the back straightaway. John Michael see the white flag when he heads off turn 4. Into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. John Michael doesn't have to worry about anything out. Back up off turn number 4 onto the front straightaway, and it's going to be his first heat win of 2024. And it comes here at McKean County Raceway. John Michael across the line in first. Then you have Joe Gillespie riding in the 52N coming across the line in second. Eric Wise in the Triple X in third. And then farther back, you have a couple of cars who are a lap down, but it's the 8 of John Michael who scores the victory. Under the snail pace for the caution flag before the green flag gets turned and dropped for the first time in the second and final heat for the mini stocks off turn 4. Green flag goes in the air. The 99L of Mark Lawrence holding far side by side down the front straightaway and into 1 and 2. Lawrence with a slight advantage and now clears holding far off turn number 2. 3 wide momentarily for second as it's the 81 of Greg Rockwell diving to the bottom of the racetrack trying to get by far. Can't do so just quite yet. Off turn 4. Lawrence continuing to lead the way. Mark Lawrence went way wide in turn number 2. The 5X of Holden Farr got right to the back bumper, but he had a check up or he would have rammed into the back of Lawrence. So now it continues to be Lawrence leading, and then the 5 of Farr has some smoke coming out the right front of that 5X green and yellow machine as there might be a tire rub, so maybe there was some contact there between him and Lawrence in turn number 2. They head down the back straightaway. Lawrence opening up his lead. The battle for third that is, and fourth is it's a good one as the 81 of Greg Rockwell. He has third. Trevor Putt, he has come from the back. So fourth now, trying to get to the outside of Rockwell, can't do so, and he's got the 73 of Bill Weatherly to his inside. A great battle for third off turn number 2, 3 wide momentarily. Now Trevor Putt, he slides by into position number 3. Lawrence continuing to pull away with the race lead. Off of turn 4, 4 laps down, 4 laps to go for the race leader of Mark Lawrence. The hard charge for Trevor Putt continues to be held as he started this one in 7th, trying to work around the 5X of Holden Farr for second. Got to the inside, couldn't complete the pass, falls back into the tire tracks of Holden Farr. Now he'll peek to the bottom of the racetrack again through 1 and 2, slides up and behind him. This racing between those two is allowing the 99L of Mark Lawrence to pull away. Now Putt tries the high side, maybe trying to get some momentum to run away with the second place position, but he gets blocked again. Holden Farr slides up in front of him, and now here comes Bill Weatherly. He wants a piece of the action as well. 2 laps to go, meanwhile, just being shown now, and it's still Mark Lawrence pulling away as Weatherly to the bottom of the racetrack of Trevor Putt. Can't get the pass completed. Putt again tries the high line on Farr, still can't pull up alongside the right side corner panel. Now he does. He gets to the outside corner panel of Holden Farr, gets to the high side, 3 wide through 1 and 2. They slide. Weatherly goes up top, and it's Farr who's stuck in the middle of that sandwich, and it's Weatherly who slides by for second. Off turn number 4, back on the front straightaway. All this happening behind the race leader and race winner of the 99L of Mark Lawrence. A great fight for the second spot at the line. You can give that spot to the 4P of Trevor Putt. He edges out by inches the second spot over Bill Weatherly, who comes across the line in third. The 5X of Holden Farr in fourth. A great battle at the line, though, but it is the 99L of Mark Lawrence who scores the victory in the second and final heat of the Nittany Mini Stocks class here at MCR. Addie Chamberlain, the 11, Jake Skinner in the 69, and the 13G of Chloe Griffin. Off turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. Green flag goes in the air for the first time here tonight for the Kid Bandits class, the Troops Creek Heating Kids Bandits. Green flag, and it is Jake Skinner who jumps out in front of both. Behind him, Chamberlain a little loose at the bottom of the racetrack. Gets a little sideways. She chased it up the track, almost collected Chloe Griffin. They kept it off one another, and now Chloe Griffin slides into position number 2, and she will now try to track down race leader Jake Skinner, who leads lap number 1 off turn 4. Into turns 3 and 4 they go. Chloe Griffin hard charging, got to the back bumper of Jake Skinner, lost some time as she got tail happy. And now speaking of tail happy, Jake Skinner does it off turn number 4. 2-car length lead for Jake Skinner as they spill back into turns 1 and 2. Again, hard charge for Chloe Griffin on corner entrance to turn number 3. Doesn't pan out, loses some time as she slides wide in the middle of the turns. 3 laps down, 3 laps to go for the race leader of Jake Skinner. He is still holding on to that 2 to 3 car length advantage as they head off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Chloe Griffin trying to make some time up, and she does not have a lot of time to do so. 2 laps to go, and they come back onto the front stretch, and now Griffin way wide again at turn 3. Almost lost it, kept it pointed in the right direction, but she has lost major time to race leader Jake Skinner, who just saw 2 laps to go at the line, and he has got nothing to worry about out back as they head off turn number 2. White flag goes in the air here for Jake Skinner as they head through 1 and 2 for the final time in the only heat for the Troops Creek Heating Kids Bandits class here at McKean County Raceway. Down the back straightaway, Skinner has a 5-car length advantage as they head through 3 and 4 for the final time. Griffin drives it in really deep, pulled up to the back bumper, slides wide, not going to be enough, and Jake Skinner heads off turn number 4, and he is going to score the victory in the Troops Creek Heating Kids Bandit class here at McKean County Raceway. Chloe Griffin across the line in second, Addie Chamberlain in third.